Hey G, this is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. Thanks so much for coming out to Gone the other day. Really enjoyed meeting you and presenting at that event. Love doing it, but also appreciate you leaving your information so that I can get this video out to you. So I'm shooting this video to show you how your website is really showing up against your competition online and to give you some steps or tips that you can take to improve things. So, as Google crawls the web, it is really looking at three things: content, backlinks, and citations. So, those are the things I'm going to be talking about in the course of this video. Now, when I'm talking about content, I'm really just referring to the words and images on your site. So, Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, really at a minimum, on the page. What that does is it gives it a good idea of what you do and where you are. Exact amount might kind of depends on the competition and the number of keywords that you need to get that information across. So a keyword is really anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. I have to confess, I wasn't sure what to search for with you. You have definitely have a unique niche. So I kind of went through it because I've looked at your site and really it's all about masculine leadership. And so I was trying to see if there were any competitors out there. There is clearly not enough volume or people doing the same thing that you are doing to create a map pack, which is what comes up if there is enough business. You'll see 3 businesses on the map. Sometimes there's 4. But that is becoming really more and more people are using it. It's becoming because it's so easy to use. Gives you lots of information at the tip of your fingers. And just FYI, if there were to come about where there was a map, the tip to being in that top 3 is really first, you got to have a Google business page. That's what drives it. You need to fill it out as much and as completely and accurately as possible. And the third piece of that is you want to have your name, address, and phone number listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. So everything from Yelp and Yellow Pages, even to Facebook or Instagram. Basically, the more times you have that name, address, phone number in the same format in those directories, the more power it gives to your profile because Google keeps finding you everywhere. Now, every place you do that is considered a citation. So the larger that your online presence is, the more Google trusts you. And then below that usually is what we'll call the organics. Well, there's no map for you, or at least for this search term. And so really what is here is all organic results. Just means not paid. So let's take a look at this. A lot of these are just articles kind of talking about masculine versus feminine leadership and culture, what we associated with leadership. I did, however, find one, where is it? KirstenStendevad.com, which is really all about masculine leadership in the feminine century. And so this was an actual website doing similar sort of work to you. And so that's who I'm going to compare you against in the scope of this video. Site for a minute and talk about content. Now, I will tell you, like your site, I love it. I love the feel of it. I love the presence of it. Um, but I did find a couple of things that were a little difficult to navigate, just in the sense, like, for example, I wanted to look at this. I see this review here, which is great. And when I scroll, I start to get to this other review, but I can't see all of it. So I kind of have to go up and then it disappears. So that's just kind of a ease of use sort of thing that could easily be fixed. Um, I love that you've got these different categories and how, regaining that power in all those areas. And you are front and center because this is your passion. Love that. Um, but what I don't see a ton of is actual content. And so I actually plugged you into a word counter and found that you've got 236 words on this page. So that leads you to have a lot of room for growth. In fact, a lot of this is really, none of these words are not necessarily what you really would love to be found for. Now, in contrast, let's take a look at this Illumina International, I guess is technically the name of the site, by Kirsten Stendevad. But she's got a lot more content, and it really kind of talks about more about strengthening that masculine leadership. So it's a little bit more clear just from the content, probably what she does. And she's got some links to videos. So there's definitely, she's got a lot more information there, which just helps the algorithm is really what that's about. Now let's go back to your website. And so when I'm evaluating websites, one of the things I do is I look at some statistics. I want to see how it's actually performing. And so when I pulled yours up in this tool that I have called that I use called Ahrefs, I can see that you're actually not generating any traffic at all to your website. You're not being found for any keywords. If we look at Illumina International, she's not doing too much more, but she is getting about one visitor a month from her website. There's some areas that she can improve as well. And she's being found for 2 keywords. Now, those 2 keywords, I can see male femininity training. Now, that term is actually being searched 40 times a month, which is great. Now she is in position 12. So it's not a super high volume. And position 12 means that she's at the top of the second page because there's 10 results per Google result page. Because of that, most people don't go past the first page. She's not getting much traffic. So that's where that one visitor is coming from, because she is at least on the top of the second. But ideally, you want to be in that top 3, right? So that's going to give you the majority of the results. This piece of the puzzle is really what we call backlinks. So a backlink is anywhere you find one website linking to another via clickable or hyperlink text. These links act like an endorsement of your website from other websites, which Google uses again to build trust in your business by seeing these other businesses vouch for you. So it's literally like a popularity contest where the person with the most wins. But not all links are created equal. You can actually have a ton of links, but if they are not relevant and they are not powerful, they're not really going to count very much. And if they're spammy, Google will penalize you. But so those relevant to your website or to your business will count more, as will those that are local. Ideally, they should also be powerful in their own right. So let's take a look at what you've got going on. These 2 scores right here allow me to compare websites regardless of industry and regardless of the number of backlinks coming in. This DR rating is really a measure of how powerful that backlink profile is. The UR rating is a measure of how trustworthy those links are. And ideally, you want to be just as powerful as you are trustworthy. And so this ratio, when divided out, really should be as close to 1 as possible. So right now you're sitting on a 0 from the scale of 0 to 100 on the power from your backlinks coming in, and the UR is about a 1.2. I can even see what that backlink is, and that is actually just from the domain, from a domain thing. So it's not really providing you a whole lot of benefit there. If I look at Kirsten Tendavad, the website, she's got a 19 for the power coming from the backlinks that she's got and a 1.4 for trust. So I can actually look and see where those are coming from. And they're coming from, I think, where she was educated. So those are good. They're relevant. And that's why Google is giving her a 19 on that power, even though there's not much there, not very many there. So really, as all of those things come together, your content, your backlinks, your citations, that's when you begin ranking higher and more customers find you. I hope this information was helpful. Would love to hear some feedback on it. If you find yourself wanting more or, just want to, feel free to reach out and we can do some research, figure out what might be realistic to help you reach your goals, because that's really what we're interested in, and what it's going to take to do that. So again, hope this was helpful. Look forward to your feedback. My name is Lori. I'm with Soul Sisters Digital Design. My number is 352-235-9803. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.